Oh, you done messed up, NFL, because you do not want Sean Payton and Bo Nix to start cooking, because this defense will keep the Broncos in every single game. And if Sean Payton and Bo Nix can level this up just a little bit, we're not just going to be in every game, we're going to win every game. And the Denver Broncos just stole an absolute burner who I think could make a massive difference in this offense as soon as he sees the field. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ben. I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan. We're going to break that down and so much more. And it helps me out a ton if you like the Broncos, if you would like and subscribe. So the big news of the day is that the Denver Broncos were able to play this kind of game of Russian roulette and steal a player off of another practice squad. This is a risky game that Sean Payton has played and won so far here with his time in Denver. He kept guys like Michael Burton and Lil Jordan Humphrey on the practice squad. They were never snatched off, but even Tyler Bade was on our practice squad and still leading this team in yards per carry and could have been snatched up at any time. Palczewski, all that. So it is a very, very dangerous game to keep a player who you think is going to be good on your practice squad and then give them actual playing time. Well, this is biting the New Orleans Saints in the butt as Sean Payton goes and steals their 6th-round pick, who is a absolute burner with the perfect frame for a Sean Payton-type offense. Now, he and Sean Payton never had any direct crossover. Sean Payton had been out of New Orleans for a few years after he was drafted, but Carmichael, who worked with Sean Payton and now works with the Broncos, was in New Orleans and knows exactly what this dude knows and knows like the system that he prefers, and his name is A.T. Perry. He played for Wake Forest, and we're going to take a look at just some of his production in the NFL, some of his production in Wake Forest, and why that could be such a great thing. But this is absolutely fantastic now as we are looking at him being a practice squad player, and it could be easy to be like, oh, he's on the practice squad, why are you so hyped about it? We've seen tons of examples of like dudes that we've signed and hid there who have then made like popped hardcore. Lil Jordan Humphreys, we saw the signing of Dondre Tillman, who then goes and has 2 sacks his first game. So these late season signings are not something to just like look past, especially when you consider the people who are in charge of those late game signings are David Shaw, whose job is to look at the Sean Payton offense and what's available out there and find the perfect fit. One of the really huge things that we benefit from having the richest owner in sports is that he's able to scour the league and find these gems and these hidden diamonds in the rough. Lucas Kroll, we signed at the end of last year and was our most productive tight end, and even started this week over Greg Dulcich. So this isn't something to look past, especially when you look at how much he flashes. So I heard Cecil Lammey and, come on, what's his name? He's awesome. Cecil Lammey and his other guy on there just talking about it. They saw him at his pro day, said he's amazing. And if you take a look at his actual RAS score, it's popping off the chart that he was the 117th best receiver when it comes to his relative athletic score, which compares how tall he is, his catch radius, like how long his arms are. So not only is he almost 6'4", but he's got a massive catch radius in the fact like he's built like Luol Deng. And this dude, even at that 6'4" frame, runs a 4.4 40, which is just absolutely wild, which is why when you take a look at his pre-draft profile, you're seeing that the NFL graded him as he is eventually going to be an average starter. And when you have Bo Nix able to get the ball to so many different receivers, setting a franchise record on Sunday, getting it to 11 different guys, you know when he creates space with that speed, with that catch radius, you can be guaranteed that Bo Nix is going to get him the ball. So I think this is a absolutely fantastic move. And you see that if you just look him up on Twitter, you're going to see a ton of New Orleans Saints fans who are really salty about this, coming out and saying after his first preseason, like, hey, he's going to be the steal of the draft. We got to crown him now. And you see like him making this catch over Trent McDuffie, who a lot of people are saying is an incredible corner. And so you've seen the flashes, not just in college, but also in the pros, mostly in the preseason. You look at this one here with Spencer Rattler, who is now the New Orleans Saints starting quarterback when the Broncos face him. And you just get extremely, extremely hyped about him with that breakaway speed, with that catch radius, and also knowing what we know about what does Sean Payton prefer. Sean Payton wants that height. When Kay Adams came to training camp, she did that little game with him where she said, a fast receiver or a tall receiver, which would you prefer? And he said, tall receiver all day. And you just look at that tall frame with that speed, and you're seeing it against NFL corners. This isn't just his Wake Forest tape, but when you look at his Wake Forest tape, you might even be a little more excited because of, they're talking about him being a Wake Forest legend. Now, it's not a school known for football, but these dudes were insanely excited about what he could do after the catch, what he could do to create space to get the catch. And I think what a perfect fit for Sean Payton as we're looking for a playmaker here with Bo Nix. He is insanely accurate, and I think we are seeing Bo Nix make like very, very meaningful improvements each and every week in his confidence for the game, and his ball placement is there. He's had a clean pocket, and I'm just feeling like, man, you give him another talented receiver here that he can work the ball around to, and this is going to be very, very scary for teams because Bo Nix is going to continue to take steps forward each and every week, and this is going to be a huge test for him as we have our dreaded rivals, but truly they're kind of like our little brother who we always beat up on. This is nowhere near the animosity that I've had towards the Raiders because we've always played the Chargers extremely well, and there was a hot second there with Phillip Rivers where they were kind of Phillip Rivers and Jay Cutler went at it, but truly we beat them very handily both times last year, and everyone's saying that was without Justin Herbert, but the fact of the matter is Herbert played for the first half of the first game, and we'd blown the doors off of them. And we played Jarrett Stidham that last game as well. And so it's not like it was our first string quarterback against their second. Our defense has gotten much better since last year. And now Sean Payton has a quarterback who runs the system that he wants. And so I think this is a great matchup for us. You were talking about the best defenses in the league right now when it comes for the statistics. I think we're 1 and 2 with EDA or EPA there with the expected points allowed for each of the defenses. Now, the big difference here is that I think the Denver Broncos have faced a gauntlet when it comes to who they have had to play. And if you look at the Chargers schedule and our common opponents, they lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers by 10 points. We were in a one-score game. Justin Fields did much more against their defense than I think Justin Fields did much more against their defense than he did against ours. And then if you look at the game against the Raiders, we blew the doors off. They were in a one-score game with the Raiders down till the very end. And so common opponents, I think we are in very good shape there. And while their numbers are like better than ours on paper, I have zero doubts this week that we match up extremely, extremely well. The other big news of the day was that we signed some more offensive tackle depth and brought back a former Denver Bronco on that line. And so we really are going to need to keep an eye on the depth chart, knowing that we had lost 3 offensive linemen in that last game against the Las Vegas Raiders. And so we're going to keep an eye on, like, is Bowles 100%? What's up with Palczewski? What's going on at center? Where are we at with that? And I will wait till all the injury report news is in before I make my final prediction. But I'm feeling extremely good about this signing and extremely good about the confidence we have. Really, if as long as we can stave off complacency and we can keep our heads down and be like, hey, we are still grinding, we're going to win this game against the Chargers. And I think we have proof of that last year, that we won 5 in a row and you never saw us get complacent in that 5-game winning streak. And so Sean Payton is going to keep that pressure dial turned up to an 11, and we don't got to worry about that. And you hear that from Pat Surtain and his media. He's making the rounds on all these different shows, and he's talking about like, hey, we haven't done anything yet. This is just the start. You saw Riley Moss's quote that this is just the start. We're bringing in more talent for Bo. We have a ton to believe in. I needed that one.